Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Dutch Racing Competition and the Spanish Grand Prix. I am your host, Casa, and you are joining us here at the Circuit de Catalunya, here in Barcelona. There you can see on screen, so I should actually see 1, 2 and 3. Looking like a two-stop is going to start on the softs, or maybe a long hard. And then we also have the ultimate Jeff battle here, Reggie versus Ravenduck. BK and just chilling on Reggie's team, Jorn and Maester on Ravenduck's team. It's looking like a bit one way at the moment, but hopefully we can see them even up a little bit here today. That is the track. 4.6 kilometres, just shy of 3 miles, 16 turns, 2 DRS zones, of which 2 detection points. Relatively flat track, a little bit sort of down there, you can see between 5 and 8. And let's go on board then with Julian in the Mercedes and show us how, hopefully, how you do a perfect lap around here. As you head down this huge home straight, and a little bit downhill, down towards turn 1, quite literally. Use as much of that track you dare on the left, throw it into turn 1. Keep it flowing through turn 2, and turn 3 just connects. They all connect well together here. Long right-hander through turn 3. Don't go too wide onto the green stuff. And then up to turn 4, tight but opening hairpin. Opportunities to overtake there if you fancy a little dive down the inside. And then into an even tighter turn 5, which opens up to the downhill section through turn 6, or kink of 6, and then 7 and 8. And this is where we can see a few people have issues. Getting too far on the right hand side there can lose the rear of the car. Similar with turn 9 here. Detection point for the DRS just before the corner, but don't run too wide on the exit. That will put you on the wall on the right hand side. Hard braking into the tight turn 10. And then turn 11, it's really unnerving. Just a little bump there on the left. Just throws the car a little bit out of control sometimes if you hit it too hard. Through turn 12, tight turn 13, then a really narrow section of the track. And this is so important. This part right here, that corner there, is the most important corner on the entire track. Get it wrong, and you won't overtake the guy in front, or you'll lose a place. Get it right, and you've got a great chance of using that DRS down that home straight to get past the guy in front. And as you can see on the screen, we have the drive standings going into the race. Jorn currently leading by 5 points from Maester, just sitting there on 52, Julian on 40, Feathercamp 35, 25 for Beaker, Fluffy Balls on 18, Busted, Atomic and Livid running out your top 10. And just below them you have got, also on 10 points, Mute, followed by Kimmy, Dan Vadan, as I call him, Jumboy, Nathan, Jar getting his first point last week. He is the sort of the guy behind all of this, so it's great to see him getting a point. Anthony there in 17th, followed by Trey Rayner, Gwyn, and Dennis. Dennis all to score a point. Construction standing, very, very tight still. Williams 77, Toro Rosso 73, Red Bull 69. Mercedes and Haas having a nice little battle there for 4th. Don't often hear that, do you? 1 point between them, 43 and 42. 27 there for Renault, 15 for Ferrari, something for McLaren, something for someone else. Unfortunately, I missed the rest. And there we go. So we're not actually quite in yet. I was hoping we'd be done by now. Unfortunately, I'd normally have a track map at this point, but unfortunately, it's not been given to me just quite yet. A little bit behind schedule, unfortunately, today, and getting me that stuff. It's not the end of the world. I'll survive without it. So yeah, we're literally just going into now. Let's have a quick look at what happened. Well, I'll tell you, have a quick look what happened last week. Jorn taking the win quite comfortably then from Beaker, just chilling in 3rd. Maester having a nightmare of a day. Took some front wing damage and then battled to cross the line 4th with Noosa. It was a great race last week, batting to the line for Maester and Noosa, along with a few others. Dan Vadan and Char battling to the line as well, less than a 10th between them at the checkered flag. If you want to see that, check out their highlights that I haven't actually got. They haven't got the highlights yet. Ignore that. Check out my YouTube or check out my previous videos. You'll find them on there. And it was a great race. Maester took damage, had decided to pit and go for the fast lap. He got the fastest lap. And they didn't. Sorry, Dan Vadan got the fastest lap in 9th place, pitching a couple of laps later than Maester. But Maester starting on the pole that week. What's he going to do here today, though? That is the big question. We've got a full grid, a huge grid. It is great to see all 20 drivers here, and hopefully Danish can get himself sorted and in, and we can get this race underway with. And there we go. Well, qualifying at least. And it is... Oh, it's overcast. Overcast, but dry. That's kind of the most important part at this stage. Yeah, full 20 drivers. There you go. Look at it. Lovely to see a full grid. And hopefully it means we can have a great race on our hands. Difficult parts of this track. Sector 2, really. 7 and 8. That's where we're going to see a lot of penalties come from, along with the final chicane. But the exit of 8, if you get it ever so slightly wrong, well, the entire turn 8, you get it slightly wrong, you can end up just losing that back end. There's a sausage curb on the inside. If you hit it a little too hard, it just flings your car around and you end up facing the wrong way. Turn 9 on the exit, you put the power down too soon, getting a bit keen to get the power down on the exit. Turn 9 can see you going to the other side of the track, and that wall's quite close over there. And as I mentioned on the hot lap, turn 15. It doesn't think it's the most important corner, but when you're battling, it is the most important corner on the entire track. Because if you get it wrong, you've got no chance in hell of catching up to the guy in front, unless you are right up his back end. That's the only chance you've got, and he's had to make a mistake as well. And I quite often see people going too deep into 14 and messing up 15, and it just really ruins any chance they had of coming past the guy in front. But we're getting some action out on track. Some people are out on those outlaps right now, and it looks like Noose is coming out on hards. Soft, sorry. Everyone else is out currently on hards, and a few others are still in the garage on softs, which isn't really important. They'll change over potentially before they come out. Busted also coming out on the soft, so it looks like Renault are going for the soft strategy. Now I have a really annoying... I've got a mouth ulcer on my tongue, and quite often it ends up between my teeth, and it's really quite annoying. I know that you didn't really ask to know about that, and I'm just getting annoyed by it. It appeared today when I was talking, and it's quite annoying. But that's not going to really stop me talking. Nothing really stops that. They've been trying to do that for years, and they've not succeeded as yet. But Dan Vidal in the Ferrari on one of the first laps. He's got a car in front of him. It's going to be a busy track here today. I have actually forgotten to do one thing I was going to do, but I'll do that after qualifying. Some really smart guys have launched a new telemetry app. Last year I had some real problems trying to run it on the game. When I was streaming, it really lagged out the stream. This year, it's great. It doesn't. I can have it open while commentating. I can see people doing fastest laps. Okay, I should have had it open for qualifying. I forgot. Sorry. It allows you to see. You can see. Oh look, that guy's doing purple sectors. I'm going to switch to him. He's going to hit a good lap here, and it's great to watch during the race. Even better because it shows me the penalties that are being applied. It doesn't show those 5-second ones that they conserve in pit lanes, but it shows those 3 seconds. And can be really, really useful. And to just sort of go, right, well, look, the guy in 4th hasn't got any penalties. The guys in front have all got 9 seconds. He's going to leapfrog and take the win at the checkered flag. And I will get that launched. You guys won't be able to see it. I'll be able to see it myself. I'll get that launched after qualifying, or if we have the calm before storm happens, I will try and get that up. And it'll just be a small delay in the stream. Don't worry, you won't really miss anything at that point. As Dan Vidan is coming round turn 12 then, towards the end of the lap. He's on the hard, so it's not going to be a top time, but it should be still a pretty darn good time. Dennis is out. I think he has a qualifying ban, from my recollection. He did write something about it a moment ago, and I forgot what it was. But yeah, so he will be starting at the back. Dan Vidan goes fastest. Noosa comes across the line on the soft, so he's obviously backed out of that lap to save the tyre. So let's have a look at Jumboy. He's a long way away. Julian, he's not too far away. He's coming out to the final couple of corners. He's backed out of that. That looks like a McLaren in front of him. It is a McLaren. It is Anthony. Going to come out to the line and do a 21 dead, or 21.1 really. Good enough for P5 at the moment. P5, unfortunately, is actually last. Fevica, he's coming to the final couple of corners and now looking quite tame through there. Really low on ERS. Look at that bottom right. He's just run out of ERS for the lap. That's really going to hamper him around that final corner. Fortunately, it's the opening lap, so plenty of time to improve. He does 120 on the nose. Puts it P5. As the laps are starting to come in, where is just chilling. He's down there in 12th. He's coming up to the final corner. He's not going to run out of ERS just yet. At least he can get through those gears before he just runs out before the line. Perfect timing there. He does a 19.717. He's P4. The time being. Jump Boy, final corner. And what's he going to manage? It's a 20.3. He's P8 then. So is Julian and Jorn still going? Julian's definitely still going. Jorn is in mode 0 coming to the line. Has he made a mistake and not been able to get into the pits? It looks like it, doesn't it? So he's got the long way to go to get back. Julian, though, he's coming through turn 12. What can he manage? Beaker's out on a lap as well. We'll switch to him in a moment. It'll be interesting to see how he's handling this one. Oh, Julian, I've seen Julian on the straight before. He hits that last corner so hard. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And he gets a 20.6. Then he's P2. Mesa smashing it at the moment, nearly into those 118s. Where it is Beaker, he's a fair distance away at the moment. Obviously, these hard laps can do a few laps if they so wish. And it looks like some people are just going to go for an extra run. They do a fast lap, a cool down, then another fast. Then they can keep going, really. Just keep cycling like that. And they can just go for as long as they really want. As long as they've got the fuel, they'll be able to do a fair few laps like that. Obviously, the first lap is going to be normally the quicker. Depends if they can get the heat in the tyres. Official F1, you quite often see them doing a couple of outlaps to get extra warmth into those tyres, just because these hards are so hard, funny enough, to warm up to the right operating temperature. Beaker comes across the line. He goes 7th with an 18.806, just a smidge ahead then of Atomic there. Look, 3,000th a second as Dan Verdan jumps up to P2. And looks like he's done for that run. Mute has just started. Nathan, he's in the midfield. Dow's coming out on mediums, the only one. Let's have a look, actually. Best laps. Noosa did his on the soft, so I'm going to disregard that because that's not a soft lap time. That is I've backed off lap time. So it's effectively he's done a hard run on a set of softs. An interesting way of doing things because you've used up a set of softs, but if you haven't taken full life out of them, you can still use those during the race. Later on, depends on what strategy you go for. We saw strategies up earlier on. It was looking like mediums to hards. I wonder if anyone's going to try and do a soft to hard strategy. It's going to be really difficult for them just to get bang on the nose. But not out the realms of possibility. Someone fancying it might go for it. Especially if they're in the bottom 10, they get free choice of tyres. They may go, I'm just going to stick these hards on and see how far I get. If I get within distance of going for those softs, I'm going to go for it. Why not? Nathan goes with my wrong cursors. Goes up to 12th then. Let's have a look at Busted. He's just started actually, so we'll come back to him as Jorn pumps in a decent time. Mesa actually's gone into those 18s now. As Jorn comes across the line and gets just off the edge of the 18s. He's in 19.18 run out and fair few laps going in. Where's Livid? He's in mode 0, so he's not doing a lap. Beaker looks like he is doing a lap. He has just started as well. So stay on board with him for a moment. And I apologies for this screen. This is me trying to launch my telemetry app so I can have that extra information that I don't want the racetrack. Just gives me a little bit more information to help. Oh shoot, go a bit timbers. Just gives me a bit more information so I can see things that you guys can't see. I won't be divulging driver strategies on stream, don't you worry. It's basically so I can see penalties. That is the chief aim of this. That'll do. That's close enough. I'll close that one later. So, sorry about that. And Beaker is still on his lap. He's coming to the 12th through 13 down into the final chicane. And let's see what he can do if he stays out. He is staying out. He had done the fastest second sector, so that's the reason I launched that thing, so I can tell you these sorts of things. And he goes P4. He did a personal best in sector 3, fastest second. He has a bit of pace there. He just needs to now get up a little higher. So we're starting to see a few drivers change onto those medium specs. Let's have a look. At the back then, Kimi is out on a lap. He hasn't done a lap yet, so it'll be interesting to see where he puts this. And actually, as I say that, Jump Boy has gone purple in sector 1. It should be good if he can do that. And more purples coming in as obviously people are going out of medium tyres. Those purple sectors are going to start appearing. Kimi comes up to the line now. Where does he put this? 16th. So who are we going to look at? Number Livid. He's actually gone purple in Sector 2 now. What's he going to do? And 19.588. He's gone P8. As it stands, as Jumbo is put in a decent first sector. Not so quick second sector, so he might be down by a few tenths here on the top time. He's currently tied with Char Iffin there for 9th and 10th, so... And he's going to come across the line, go P5 with a 19.375. So just shy of 8 minutes left of the session, so a fair distance left. And already we're starting to see a lot of drivers put in those hard times. And the only person put in a medium time so far is actually Dow, down there in 14th. But yeah, so I think I just saw, was it Beaker or JC? I think it's JC just putting a time. He's gone up to P4. Teammate just behind him. It's looking good then in the Jeff battle. It is Meister and Yorn under control of Raven Duck, and Just Chilling and Beaker under control of Raggy. For those who don't know what Jeffing is, it's basically like your in-game Jeff, but they have the same app I have open. They can see everything I can see, but sometimes a little bit more detail, which allows them to just see on the track where the cars are, see those gaps, make the calls. They can see when the weather's changing sometimes, especially if it's going to start dropping a few degrees. They can start seeing that. It's all the track temperatures coming down. It's already quite cloudy. Does it mean the rain's about to happen and things like that? They can see. They can also see the tyre wear of their drivers. Some other drivers they can see, just see the temperatures of everything, and they can just stay on top of all that information. And just, it really helps as well. Sometimes if you've got a driver who's a little bit hot-headed, like Beaker is most of the time when he's driving, he gets a little bit angry, does Beaker. And sometimes it just helps to have someone there just telling you, look, just calm it. You've got time to the guy behind. Just reset yourself mentally and go again. And that's what they really do. They just see everything, really. That's their aim. And it just... yeah, it helps the drivers just strategize everything, process all the extra information, relay it to the drivers. Like, you can start seeing, right, this guy's just come in, he's now doing purple sectors, and he was 2 seconds behind you. You need to get in this lap, or you're going to lose that position. Things like that. I mean, I can see these sort of things as well, but as Beaker's should be coming in this lap, he's going to run out of fuel otherwise, I think. He's going to run really low. He's already on red fuel. We'll see how he goes. Is he going to come in or is he going to stay? He's still in mode 4. He might be just rushing back. As we are pretty much a bit earlier than expected. We're at this calm before the storm. So many people are in the pit lane. There's only currently 4 cars on track, of which one's Beaker. And he's going into the pits. So Noosa goes up then to 14th on the hard. So he's done a good run. And he'll be making his way back to the pit lane. I just want to do this as well, see if this works. Right. So, I'm just like trying to position everything a little bit better. There we go. Right. So it is that calm before storm. Noosa, Dow, and Anthony, only drivers currently on track. Noosa's on his way in. Anthony is backed out of his lap. He's obviously made a mistake. Dow is coming around. He's going to start his lap on soft, see if he can get this up. If you're going to put the softs on, you ideally want to be at the front. And is that going to be possible for Dow? We're going to find out shortly. He's going through turn 3, the long right-hander. I'll be keeping an eye on those sector times. If they start appearing purple, then we might have a new pole lap on our hands. And as I say that, the first sector goes purple, but only by 0.02 of a second. So that may change. As it comes through the kink of turn 6, then uphill. This is that turn 8 that I was talking about earlier. That sausage curve there, you so easily lose the back end around that corner. And similar with this one, just you take too much curve on the inside. You just put the power down a little too soon. Back end just goes bye. Well, you see it again, but it's facing the other way. And looking good for Dow. He's gone purple in sector 2. Just got to nail this last sector, and it will be provisional pole for the Toro Rosso driver. see, final couple of corners then. And round the long right-hander towards the line. Let's see, can he put this up? Provisional pole. He runs out of DRS just before that, but he does go pole. A decent improvement, and it's a tenth. One of those numbers. A tenth clear of Meister then. Meister should find that relatively easy to overtake as we're starting to now get action back out on track. Julian is out on track. Anthony has done that lap, but he's now going to do another one. And he obviously backed out of his first run. He's got to be careful though. You don't want to take too much out of these tyres, but I think because he backed out of his lap so early, he should be okay. A little bit of traffic ahead of him as well. He's not going to worry too much about that because at this distance it's not going to cause him too many issues, but on the home straight it'll just give him a little bit of a tow. He's not going to gain half a second, but he might gain about a tenth or so. And when it comes to Formula 1, that's all that matters. Just finding a little bit more time. And he's going to come across the line and go P15 then on his mediums. 2 minutes left of the session. He's either got to do a cool down, although he's got red fuel, so he's unlikely to be doing any more. I think that might be the end of Anthony. Let's have a look up then at Julian, currently P3, second of the hard runners. Dow's there at the front. Julian though, minute 50 left. He's got plenty of time. And let's see, can he put this provisional pole? Sector 1 was purple, Sector 2 wasn't. He was down a fair bit. And there you go, look, he's backed out immediately. He knows it. He knows he's made a mess. And Noose is ahead of him trying to get out of the way. Let's have a look further down. I know Fluffy Balls was out on a lap. And he is. And coming through turn 11 into the long right-hander turn 12. He's not backing out. He went purple in Sector 2. And can he put this towards the front? He's got a good chance to. Final corner then for Fluffy Balls. And what's he going to get? It's going to be a 1:18.5. Is good enough for P1. And will that be good enough to start in the top 10 as the track will have those final evolving? Yawn has just started, so we'll come back to him. Justin has just started. Beaker hasn't just started. He's down quite a lot, so he won't be going for this lap. Jump Boy's just started as well. Feathercamp, he is not just started. He's up by half a second at the end of Sector 2. That's going to look good. He should get into the 18s here. And how far into the 18s though? As I just seen Jump Boy's gone purple Sector 1. So Feathercamp, pole position as it stands. 20 seconds left. Those on outlaps will have to cross the line shortly. And see what they can do. So lots of purple sectors coming in at the moment. Jump Boy has gone purple in Sector 1. Purple in Sector 2 was Julian. So Julian's going to come up to the line shortly. Let's see, what's he going to do? He's got a Noosa spinning ahead of him. That should affect him. It will affect Noosa's lap, but not Julian's. Julian's going to come up to the line. P1, as it stands, just missing out on the 117. Who else are we going to look at? BK, he's a long way away at the moment. Jump Boy coming up to the line as well. Purple in Sector 1 for Livid, actually. He's going to be worth keeping an eye on. Where's Meister? Meister is on his way. Jump Boy comes across the line, P3. Meister, fair distance away at the moment. The Mute has retired down there. Final few corners for Meister. Can he get up to the front? He went purple in Sector 2. Purple in Sector 1 has actually gone to Livid. Could Livid spoil the party? He's gone green in Sector 2, so it's not going to be as quick as he would like. Meister pinning that throttle as much as he dares, running out of ERS, and it is P1 at the moment. Where is Livid? That's what I want to watch. He's coming to his final corner. Can he get up there? I think this might be a bit of an ask. He was up by a fair bit. If he can do a decent last sector, he's not. He gets P9 though, so decent result for him in the end. Atomic comes across the line. He goes P10, and that is all she wrote then. So let's have a quick rundown then of those final qualifying positions for you. And there they are. So Meister taking pole, followed by Julian. Obviously all these top runners are all on the medium tyres. Yawn P3, not where he wanted to be. He would have wanted to be up instead of Julian, but he's going to have to do it from third place now. Dan Verdan fourth, Jump Boy in fifth, Feathercamp sixth, followed by Just Chilling, Beaker, Livid, and Atomic Gill, rounding out your top 10. Just missing out then was Fluffy Balls, followed by Dow and Busted in 13th. Obviously, look at that, 8/10 is Busted. Then Nathan, Char, Anthony, Noosa, Mute, Kimmy, and Dennis. Dennis with that qualifying by. We'll start at the back, and we'll have it all to do. What can he do from the back? We're going to find out as we're going into the race. Hopefully. Yep, there we go. So, just now wait for all those drivers to just make those little changes to their setup. See what they can do. Big pressure on Dennis to actually perform this week. He's not had the best time so far, and he'll be looking just to get points. I think he's got to be his chief aim here today. He's not got any points so far this season in the DRC. As I say, I think he'd just be happy with a point, really. Especially when you're starting 20th, you've got a lot to do, and a lot can go wrong. But we'll see how he does. I do hope he can. And yeah, so there we go on the grid for the formation lap. Let's have a quick look then at the tyres for everyone. Obviously, top 10 has to start on what they qualified on. It's pretty much just all mediums bar 3 drivers. Nathan, Kimmy, and Dennis going for the hards. Is Dennis going for a hard to soft strategy? Is he crazy to even consider that? We're going to find out. The King's strategy is mediums to hards, or hards to mediums. So it'd be interesting to see if Dennis just fancies something a little different. We'll see how he gets on. As may start leading us around then. Feathercamp's gap is quite high for some reason. I'm not sure why he's there. That's because there's a car between Just Chilling and Feathercamp. That's an Alpha. How does he manage to get there? It's not Dennis, is it? No, it's not. This Jump Boy's dropped back a little bit. Right then. So, just waiting now for all the drivers to get back round to their positions on the grid. Try and get those tyres nice and warmed up. Don't take too much out of the tyres though. That's the crucial part here. 33 laps. The last thing you want to do is overheat them and make it really difficult for you on the start line. And Meister just wants to back the pack up a little bit so they're not all stretched out. They're doing quite a good job here actually. They're all quite tightly bound. And Meister will be taking up position at the front. Julian alongside him in the racing point. His championship rival is right on his rear though. It's going to come down to the start, I suspect. So many times this season we've seen Jorn take the lead from Meister. Meister just claw it back and just keep Jorn at an arm's length behind him. Will the same happen again? Or will be role reversal and Jorn will take the win at the end? We've got 33 laps to find that out. And we're now waiting for Dennis at the back to take up position. And we'll be under starters' orders. All cars are on the grid. The lights are coming on. 5 red lights. They're off, and we're off then for the Dutch racing competition here at Spain. And Meister getting away cleanly. Jorn is battling Julian for P2. He's going to have to go around the outside here of turn 1. Dan Verdan slotting in, but Feathercamp looking to try and make moves as well. As everyone... Oh, there's a Haas spin in the background. He's had to take to the grass there to avoid any action. That's Fluffy Balls. And Noosa looks like he's spun as well. He's dropping back. But John Boy has had a nightmare of a start. He's falling right back. He's down 4 places. And there's big accident at the back there. Who is that? Nathan is off. Noosa is off. Must be damage there for those cars. Let's have a look. There's no damage on the front of that by those things. And Nathan looks okay, actually. There's definitely damage somewhere. There's damage on the front end of Mute's car as he's struggling to get there around the corner. Fluffy Balls is all over the back of Dennis. Dennis has had a decent start. He's up 4 places, taking advantage of all those issues at the start. And he's quite happy to be where he is. As Big Gay is the man in front of him as well. Kimmy's up 4. 3 places for Char and 3 places for Busted. JC up 2. And Kimmy's actually battling with Anthony there to try and move up another one. And let's have a look. Oh, that's close from Dennis. And Anthony's actually bashing with Dow to try and move up as well. But nothing coming of it just there. Crucially for Yorn though, he managed to get past Julian on that opening lap. Moves himself up now to P2. And look at that, he's already dropping quite far behind Meister. And, oh, Char is coming into the pits. Char, Mute, and Nathan staying out. So it's just Char and Mute with that front wing damage early on in the race. Not what you want. Not at all. They'll try and play the long game now. BCAT and I'm getting triggered by the gap timers being wrong there. He's not right on the back of Jumboy. But just showing you, his teammate is right on the back of Dan Verdan. And Julian is clambering all over the back of Yorn, trying to get that pace back off him. And DRS will be enabled at the end of this lap. And we will get those times sorted as well. They'll be sorted at the end of this lap. It's unfortunately just the way it goes here. And they all don't seem to want to work when you want. That's a terrible camera angle. I mean, it's great and terrible at the same time. It doesn't offer me anything other than just artisticness. But right, so let's have a look. Who else is having a battle? Let's look towards the back. That's normally really nice. Might see some close action. There's definitely some close action there. And who was that? That was a Tom. No, it wasn't a Tom. That was Busted and Livid, battling for 9th and 10th. Livid's actually coming into the pits. Has he picked up damage? He must have done if he's coming in the pits this early on mediums. We'll just follow him down quickly and see what he does. DRS has now been enabled. Gaps are sorting themselves out. And no, he's just not sure why he's come in all fairness. He's changed onto the hards and he's very, very slow to get out of the pits. Must have lost a fair bit of time there. Noosa on the back of Kimmy. This is 15th and 16th here. Just ahead of them, Fluffy Balls and Dennis close as well. And front, I mean, Meister has already got a 1 second lead over Yorn. Yorn needs to close up if he wants to save. Kimmy's made a bit of a mistake there. Noosa's going to try. Nothing he can do about it there. He had a look to make the overtake. Couldn't find a way through though, unfortunately. So he'll be staying as is for the time being. Running a little bit wide there on that corner. So he's now slotting in. DRS then for Noosa. Won't often go for an overtake here unless you're that much quicker off the guy in front. There's a good three-way battle actually developing front. Fluffy Balls, Dennis and Anthony. Dennis trying to make amends for the qualifying ban. Up into 13th, so he's had a great start. Up 7 places. And all over the back of Anthony. I think he might fancy an attempt on the home straight. Let's go on board with Dennis. He comes off that final corner. And is he going to have Anthony here? He's closing in, really closing in. Anthony's a sitting duck. Easy overtake, but what about Fluffy Balls? Is he going to come through as well? He's looking for it. He's going to send one down the inside into turn 1. He's got to be careful not to hit Dennis, and he hasn't, and he's got a place. Great moves there for Fluffy Balls to catch up to Anthony, take it off him. Anthony losing 2 places on 1 bit straight, and Julian has had an issue. What's happened to Julian? He's just must have spinned it then at turn 4, and he's dropped right back now. And he's now down in 9th place. He's going to have Atomic all over the back of him, especially if he's put a little bit too much heat into those tyres. Let's have a look there. I can see the tyre numbers myself. I can't share that information with you, but I can tell you they're a little bit warm. But he should be able to control those and bring them back down. And that has really helped out Yorn. He's now got a gap to Dan in 3rd. Let's go back on board with Dennis. He's all over the back of Fluffy Balls. Fluffy Balls making the move on in that lap. And Dennis just looking a little bit out of shape there. He's still up 7 places, but he should really be up 8. He should be ahead of Fluffy Balls. Dow just ahead of them has nothing really going on. So they're going to try and move up onto the back end of him. And DRS here for Dennis. Yeah, this should be a simple overtake, similar to last lap. Should have no problems whatsoever getting past him. And Fluffy Balls goes defensive, covering the inside line. Dennis is going to have to go the long way around the outside. And it's only a long way if you're side by side. He's already ahead. Up then into P12 he goes. And yeah, so 8 places gained by Dennis so far. We're only 5 laps in. Julian obviously down 6. And under pressure then from Busted. Now let's have a look at Feathercamp. Feathercamp is still pressuring JC for 4th place. But terrible drive off the corner. He's dropped right back. He's coming under pressure for Jumbo. Jumbo's looking. He looks, but he knows he shouldn't really go for it there. It's not the best place to make the overtake. Just save it up. Feathercap making another little mistake there. And Jumbo is going to be trying to come past. Let's have a look at those tyres. Obviously, all those mediums are going to be pissing probably in about 10 laps, maybe 8 laps time. Depending on how they feel at the end of the day, that's what's really going to matter. Julian goes fastest. Despite having a spin, he's just gone the fastest man on track. And he could be making a move here on Beaker. He's going to try and go around the outside. And just running out of room. Now looking for that switchback, but Beaker is wised up to it. Julian's going to try and get the drive round turn 3 as there's battle going on just ahead. Jumbo and Feathercap are attempting, and they can stay as is, and so is Julian. Oh, Jumbo's got a little inside line there to Feathercap. Doesn't go for it. And now still holding on to P6 is Jumbo. Meister, 1.5 second lead over Jorn, who's got a 2 second lead over Dan Verdan, who himself's got a 2.5 second over Just Chillin. The front's starting to spread out, but fortunately the midfield and everywhere else is still quite tightly bound. I mean, even back here, as Feathercap kicks a bit of dust into Jumbo's face, he has DRS to defend. We've even got a battle for Noosa and Anti going on for 14th and 15th. And the guys towards the very back have all actually had a pit stop earlier on due to front wing damage in the opening laps. And yeah, so let's have a quick look at the pit stops. Last 3 have all made that pit stop. So Nathan didn't actually make a pit stop, but is still 5 seconds off the back of Kimi. He'll hope to close up onto that. And well, he'll go onto the mediums later on in the race, so he has a chance of cutting his way through the field later. As Beaker and Julian swapping places. Julian, oh, they swap back then, but Julian looking to make moves down the inside of turn 4. Has he made it? He's down the inside on the exit. It's still side by side. They haven't given up yet into turn 5. Beaker late on the brakes, locking up. Julian's trying to go around the outside. I think Beaker might have this, but Julian might be able to carry a little bit more speed around the outside of here because he'd then be on the inside, still side by side. Has Julian made it? He's just a nose ahead at the moment. And now he's a little bit behind. He's got to be careful there. Don't want to lose it sideways into the other car. They are still side by side. Julian and Beaker going into the braking zone. A little bit of contact. And that's put Julian off his line. Beaker is through, but so is Busted. And Julian losing more places. And he's going to be a little bit hot under that collar. He needs to just calm it down. And how long before he starts considering an undercut? And ooh, a little bit of nudging on the rear end of Busted there. And Julian losing out, but Busted's got a chance to make a move on Beaker, but Beaker will have DRS to defend. But how much closer? Julian's going to look to make a move here on Busted. Pulls out. He's actually blocking Busted in. And now Beaker comes over and blocks him. Julian's going for the double. Is he going to make the double? He looks... Why have I not got a good camera angle? Come on. There we go. He has made the double. That was a beautiful move there from Julian. Taking Busted and Beaker on the straight. Annoying that he didn't get a good camera angle like that. Apologise for that. But Julian back up into P7 now. As Nathan has had another pit stop. It's not his day back there. He's going to drop to the very back. And he's going for softs. Interesting call. We'll see if that works out for him. Let's go back up to our battle here for 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. And he is still going to be so close. All it takes is one mistake from anyone. And they're going to get an extra place. As Julian made that mistake last time around, he's not going to this time because Beaker's just not close enough to him. As Dennis and Dow battling behind as well. Dennis wants to come past. He's on those hard tyres. Ooh, no, he held it. That was that dangerous turn 11, that bump. He lost it going into the corner, and then just continued to lose it through the corner. It didn't cost him anything other than a little bit of time. As Busted is now on the back end of Beaker. Beaker will have DRS from Julian. Julian making moves on Jumbo. He's going to go easy overtake. Let's go back to Busted and Beaker. Busted's going to try and go around the outside. Is he going to manage it? He is, but he's gone very deep. That's going to allow Beaker to charge back around the outside. And Beaker takes it straight back off him. Busted making that, let's say, small mistakes is what's costed him there. That just ever so slightly later into that corner cost him a place. Beaker holding P8. Julian getting it back up to P6. And these tyres are going to be starting to hurt soon though. It's not quite. We're getting towards that pit window. Probably another 3 or 4 laps for these guys. And they will start to come in. Obviously depending on what they've been doing. If they've been battling constantly in dirty air, they might have to come in a little bit long earlier. Those times will be getting nice and toasty. And Beaker trying to close up to the back of Jumboy. Jumboy's now lost out to DRS on Julian. And Julian is starting to recover those places back that he lost from the spin. He's clear of Jumboy and is right up onto the back of Feathercap. And the gap there, 0.3 of a second. And he will make short work of the Mercedes. Beaker making a small mistake on the final couple of corners. Drops back a little bit from Jumboy. But Julian easily passed Feathercap up now into P5. And a simple overtake. Feathercap has a look to come back at him. Can't really do much about it at this stage. Atomic is closing at the back of Busted. Busted's on the edge of losing DRS to the man in front as well. And I didn't think I'd be saying this. I'm not going to touch wood. We've not had any penalties yet. Honestly surprising. I know this track isn't known for its penalties, but there's some corners that are very easy to get just slightly wrong and pick up warnings. And 10 laps in, or 9 completed laps, you would expect to see at least one person pick up one. So good clean racing so far. And fortunately Brownlee's not here and I haven't just jinxed him, so it's all good. So run down as we look. Meister has a 1.6 second lead from Yorn and 3.5 seconds back. Dan Verdan another 3.5 seconds is just chilling. 2 and a bit seconds back is Julian there in 5th as Dennis and Dow swapping places. That is for 12th and 13th, though. Dennis starts started at the back. He's now starting to make his way through as these medium tyres are starting to just drop off a little bit. Dennis has a little bit more life left in those hards and he will be quite happy to be where he is. Julian, well, I thought these tyres were dying off, but Julian says otherwise as he puts in the fastest lap of the race so far on 10 lap old mediums as Feathercap and Jumboy swap places into turn 1. Beaker and Busted are battling as well, and lots of battles still going on. Dennis and Dow still relatively close. That one's not over just yet. It's getting close to being over as Dow's mediums are really going to be starting to hurt, especially on corners like this where you've got to have a lot of speed, these high paced corners. The last thing you want to do is lose that back end. Let's keep an eye though. Beaker, Feathercap, Busted all relatively close. Nathan has DNF'd. Yellow flags, no safety car. Is that in the pit lane? And let's have a look quickly. It's either pit lane or final corner. He's changed his tyres. That's a pit lane retirement then. So unlikely to cause a safety car, but you never know. It can. Beaker still on the back end of Feathercap. Busted is just behind him as well. This train for 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th. If Fluffyballs can up it, he might be able to join on the back of it. As we are now starting to approach that pit window. It is getting to that point. If Feathercap says, yes, it is pit window time, please let me in. I don't want these tyres anymore. Beaker staying out for now. So, Beaker's coming under a little pressure, but he has DRS, but not a lot of slipstream. Mute has come out right into the mix of this as well. Busted just didn't have the pace. He had the slipstream, but they both had DRS. And Busted unable to take advantage of it. Just ahead of them though is Jumbo, and they'll be looking to try and get up to the back of him. Feathercap's come out back in 16th, but at least his stop is done. As I say, there you go, 17th. So he'll try. He's still apparently still in the pit lane. He's now out. So there we go. So 17th then for Feathercap, and that's where these guys are going to drop back. This pack we're looking at the moment are going to drop back to around there. Hopefully they won't get stuck in traffic for their sake. For our sake, hopefully they will, because it just means a lot more overtaking to be had, and that's what you want to see. So, Beaker still in this little sandwich. He's battling with Jumboy. Jumboy's now 2 seconds off Julian. So Julian's got a comfortable lead there. I just wonder, will we see pit stops start to happen here? Maester and Jorn say no. Where's Dan Verdan? Dan Verdan says no. Julian says no. Julian says no. Jumboy says no. And they all say no still. They, well, they can't do any more on these tyres. They're going to start to feel a bit rubbish. I suspect we might see some come in this lap. Well, next lap, next time around. And so, let's have a look. Noosa came in. Busted is still trying to hold on to the back of Beaker, but these mediums now are really starting to hurt on these guys. And Beaker's tyres are really quite hurting. I do have Beaker's data, and they're getting a little bit warm, should we say. And hopefully he can cool them down. And Noosa will come out right towards the back, but still Mute is quite far back, and you won't have any worries about that. Let's have a quick look at Maester, see how he's getting on in the race lead. 1.6 seconds clear of his championship rival, which is Jorn. I suppose Jorn hasn't pitted a lap early, tried for an undercut. And they are both pitting now. Well, let's have a look back though at this battle for 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th and almost 10th. Flapples just on the edge. So, who was that coming in? That was Jumbo coming in. Beaker's staying out. Busted staying out. Beaker's got DRS to stay ahead of Busted for now. And Busted will close up a little bit. He's not going to go for a dive. It would be pretty ambitious to go from that far back. So, Julian takes the race lead. Maester and Jorn come out in P5 and 6. Dennis, though, is right on the back of Jorn. This is going to work wonders for Maester, because Jorn will be battling with Dennis. Dennis on 13 lap old hards, Jorn on cold hard tyres. We'll see if he can do anything about it. A little lock up there from Dennis. Dennis locking up just every now and again. He's just a little bit too keen to brake a little bit late and don't run too wide. That's a wobble there from Dennis. And now Jorn, I think Jorn's got him covered here. Dennis is just not closing up as much as you'd like. I mean, his hard tyres, don't get me wrong, they may be hard tyres, but they are still going to be starting to hurt soon. As Julian also pits from the race lead. Where is Busted and Beaker? Busted and Beaker both in. Atomic is also in. No double stacking here. Good to see. Oh, I can see it coming. I can see him closing up to Busted. 5-second penalty then for Atomic. Bad news bears for him. And that will be applied at the end of the race if he doesn't pit again. As Mute has retired from the back. That's the sector 3. That could be a pit lane retirement. It looks like it was. Or was it? I don't know. I can't tell. I think if it was, we would assume change tyres. So he must have lost it in sector 3, which could be anywhere. Right, Busted still battling with Jumboy. Beaker getting past Jumboy through the pit stops though. He's made that one work for him. Livid is also here. He's on 12 lap old hard tyres. He's part of this battle. But will these guys drop him soon? As they'll probably, hopefully for their guys' sake, they'll get past him and walk off into the sunshine. But then Livid will come back at them later on with those fresher, medium, or potentially soft tyres, depends how he does. As the two Haas boys are relatively close together, half a second between them. Careful of that bump, Fluffy Balls. That bump on turn 11 is terrible. If you hit it wrong, it can send you flying, quite literally. Alright then, so Beaker and Kimmy relatively close, but not going to be seeing an overtake there. Fluffy Balls struggling with grip on that rear end. Where is Busted and Jumbo? They're too far apart to see anything there. Where's Fluffy and Atomic? They're really close, but not close enough to see an overtake. Both with DRS from the guys in front. So they are going to sit as they are for now. Sorry, got a little cough. Out front though, it is Meister leading from Yorn. Dennis is up there in third at the moment. He's still to stop. Doing a nice long opening stint on those hard tyres. He'll probably be stopping in the next 3, 4, maybe 5 laps, depends how he feels. As Beaker is going to be looking to make short work here of Kimi. Kimi on 15 lap old hards. Beaker on fresh, now hopefully warm hard tyres. And is he going to go for it? No, he's not. He's going to sit back in, which is going to allow Jumbo just to close up a little bit more off the back of Beaker. And if Jumbo can get a good drive off, or good final sector, he might slingshot past both these. Fluffy Balls picks up our first corner cutting penalty with 3 seconds for him. Down there in 13th. And we're on started 17 of 33 now. Beaker's got a good run off that last corner. Don't think Jumbo's going to be close enough for whatever happens here. And should be. Oh, it was even easier than we expected. He just... yeah. Moving on. Where's Fluffy Balls and Atomic? Fluffy Balls is looking. He's just not going to go. He looks. But Atomic just had more pace than him. So let's look back up Jumbo and Kimi. They're going at it still. Turn 4 is an overtaking opportunity. If you've got the speed, and Jumbo's going to try and go around the outside of turn 5 on Kimi. Is he going to do it? No, he's not, but he might lose out here to Busted. Busted trying to come through the inside. Let's go on board with Busted actually, because we get a good view of this if he breaks in time before the back end. And now we're going to get some more DRS section here. Jumbo is going to get it on Kimi. He's going to try and do it here. Is he going to have the pace though to do it? It's actually Busted looking more like he's making a move. He'd made all 3 wide. That is not going to end well. Well, it did kind of end well, but also badly. They all survived. That was what's important. Busted didn't survive as much as he'd like. He's just lost a few places there. And so it was Jumbo trying to make moves on Kimi. Losing out to Livid. Busted trying to make moves on Jumbo, losing out to Livid, Atomic, and nearly Fluffy Balls. And all set and go again then, as Livid's going to make moves. He sold Kimi a dummy. Kimi brought it very early on. Livid is through up into P8. As Fluffy Balls, he just lost out to Feathercamp there. He's made a mistake in that final sector to Fluffy, while trying to make an overtake on Busted. And it's cost him big time there. He's just dropped back to 14th. And only 3 drivers ahead of him are still to stop, so he's effectively out the points at the end of this race. Still a fair way to go. They were on 18 of 33. Whereas Jumbo and Kimi, that was a little wobble there for Fluffy Balls as we looked away. He's probably quite happy we're not looking at that. Jumbo on back of Kimi here. Kimi on 17 up old hards. Jumbo on fresh hards. That's a little bit of contact. Has he sustained damage? Just got caught out there by the looks of it. Kimi also going a little bit slower than most cars. 3-second penalty to Kimi. And losing a place to Jumbo. Where is Atomic? Atomic is late on those brakes. Very late. It was Kimi just so early. That nearly caught everyone out there, I think. Busted on the back end of Atomic. It's a train behind Kimi now. They all wanting to just go faster or get out of the way. Atomic's going to be the next man to try. Is Busted going to try as well? Atomic just got a terrible drive off the corner. He might be taken here by Busted. Busted is going to be close. He's in mode 4. DRS is open. It's going down the home straight. Feathercamp is just behind him as well. Fluffy Balls isn't too far back. Busted is going to go down the inside. Is he? Come on, give me a good camera angle. There we go. And no, he's trying for that switchback, but he's just not going to do it. And you won't go around the outside of turn 3 unless you're already alongside. And even then it's quite tricky as Feathercamp's looking to come back and isn't going to just yet. Dennis has lost out in the meantime to Dan. Not entirely surprising, but Julian is on the back of Just Chilling. And might see in closing up here similar laps on their tyres. Just Chilling holding off for now. Julian had a spin earlier on that really cost him. He's had a few incidents here today. Just needs to calm it down. and just try and get yourself back up. Podiums are not out of the question just yet. It's still there. Dan is within grasping reach of you at the moment. He may be 3 seconds up the field, but get past JC, and there's only one car, and then you're up behind him. As Dennis has now finally pitted on lap 20, Julian is easily through, up into P4. And let's have a look further back then. Feathercamp, Busted, nothing there. Atomic and Busted. Busted might have this one. He's looking very good. Late pull out there. And he's going to go round turn 1 ahead of Atomic. And Dennis, where is Dennis coming out? He's coming out on mediums right behind Char. Char out there in 13th. He's still to pit as well. He's not going to repeat last week's heroics. But you never know. So Dennis, fresh mediums. He needs to get these warmed up, which won't take too long. Mediums will warm up quite quickly around here. As long as you don't do lockups like that. I mean, they'll get heat into them, but it'll flat spot them as well, which is not what you want on those tyres. And he'll probably be trying to make moves here on Char on this DRS straight. We'll stay on board with him for a little bit and see what he does. As the midfield, the battle for the last of the points positions is still going on. Dennis isn't going to go for it. Jorn goes fastest. That's an important thing to do. Fastest lap when you're trying to chase down the race leader. But is Meister going to react to this and go even faster himself? As Julian goes for the fastest lap as well. It's all starting to work out. Everyone's getting a little bit of space, getting a little bit more speed. Oh, nearly got caught out there. A bit of lag then. As Char pulls into the pits, freeing up Dennis. Dennis will have DRS down the home straight and 5 seconds off the back of Fluffy Balls then. And he should be closing up that quite quickly because Fluffy Balls is in a battle with Feathercamp, his teammate Atomic, and Busted all behind Jumboy as it stands. As they are going to be trying to move up to the back of Livid. And is Livid trying to go hards the softs? Or is he just trying to play a little bit safe? See if we can see tyre data. We can't, unfortunately. As Busted, 0.336 off Jumboy. Let's go up the hill towards turn 9 and that DRS straight. And DRS open, mode 2 now down to 0, so he's not going to go for the overtake. Just going to sit back in for now, make Jumboy burn off a bit of ERS because he has just a little bit more. As Atomic and Feathercamp swap places. Oh, hello. So Atomic up to down to P11, runs a little wide there. Where's his teammate? His teammate's right on the back of him. There's one car ahead of these guys who's going to pit shortly, and this is going to put everyone back to racing positions. So these guys are effectively racing for 10th and 11th, the two teammates. That could be interesting. As Busted still not making a move on Jumboy. So 1.1 is the gap at the front as well. That's starting to come down a little bit by bit. 3/10 last lap. Dennis with a 3-second penalty to his name. That's not what he wanted. His day's not going too well now. He's there in 13th. Should we have a quick penalty rundown while we're waiting for this DRS section for Busted? In 10th place, Feathercamp has a 3-second penalty. Then Fluffy Balls and Dennis have a 3-second, and Kimmy has a 3-second. Then there was a 5-second pit lane speeding penalty. I'm not sure that's for. I want to say it's Busted, but I'm not sure. I could be wrong. But someone definitely picked up a speeding penalty in the pit lane. That'll be applied at the end. If anyone knows who that is, please tell me, because I've forgotten. Right, so Busted now. Is he going to have a chance here on Jumboy? Oh, he just took too much of that turn 14, and he's going to lose time. And Feathercamp is actually quite close to him. Busted's just lost about 2/10 in that one corner from that one little mistake, just taking a little too much of it. And he is close, don't get me wrong, but he would have been passed if he hadn't made that mistake. And that was what I was talking about in the hot lap and the qualifying. Those, I was talking mostly about 15, but still, 14 is still quite important, especially if you do something like that. You just lose your chance of making the overtake. As back in 18th, Charifing's actually gone purple, sector 3, so he'll be quite happy with that. He's not too far actually off the fastest lap, he's only a couple of tenths. But out front still, Jorn and Meister, they did close up a couple of laps ago, but now Meister's upped it once again and starting to pull away. And that's the story of the season so far, really, between these two. Jorn ups it, Meister ups it himself, and Jorn just can't close up anything. You can see it's come down to less than, it's about a second. A good final sector for Jorn and a good lap in the end, but not at the right time to be closing up. He needs to close up in the DRS points, and I mean, I've just seen that Meister's put in his personal fastest first sector, but it's 2 tenths slower than Jorn's, as Busted goes through on Jumboy. Or does he? No, he doesn't. I thought he had that. Feathercamp might want a slice of this if anyone makes a mistake. And there's nothing going to be coming of it just yet. Still keeping an eye on that battle for first. That could develop, as they've just finished sector 2, so that's coming down to turn 10. Jorn is right teetering on the edge of DRS on Meister, both being managed by the same guy. I don't know who his loyalties lie with. Apologies. Busted little pull out there, trying to get some clean air. Nothing of it just yet. But now Jorn has actually got it inside that 1 second window. He just needs to hold there. Unfortunately, they've only just started the lap, so they're coming towards the end of sector 1 now. He needs to stay there for a fair distance. Feathercamp, Busted, trying to make moves. Busted's looking good now. As Atomic and Fluffyball swap places further back. Livid, actually, is he trying to go to the end on those hards? Busted slides on through. Has he got it made finally? He has. Let's have a look at Livid. He's done 22 laps on these hards. He doesn't need to pit again. He did 2 laps on the mediums to start with. How is he feeling in that car right now? He must not have a lot of grip. 2 seconds off Beaker, 4 seconds off Busted. I think the fact that Busted is battling with Jumbo and Feathercamp is really helping out Livid. And the fact that they're not really closing up to him. He can just sit there. And actually, speaking of closing up, Julian's closes up to Dan. Jorn's closed up to Meister. And will have DRS look good. No, he just lost it off the final corner. Will not have DRS then. Will Julian? This one looks more likely to be DRS. Julian is less than half a second, 4 tenths behind. Coming off that final corner. Is he close enough to make a move? It's closing in. He was just back a little bit. Is he going to go for a dive? I don't think he is. No, he knows better than to dive from back there. Livid does finally pit. I thought he was going to go to the end, but now at least he can go on to softs and get some good times in, as Fluffyballs, Feathercamp, Jumboy still gonna. Buster's got a little lead over these guys now. But Feathercamp just can't do anything about it and close up. Oh, what the? That was a dive and half from Fluffyballs. That caught me out. I looked away for half a second to look at my telemetry and just saw a Fluffyballs going dirt rally style. And as a result, he's just lost a few places. Has he still got a front wing? I mean, this is a lovely camera angle for that crash, but Fluffyballs is damage free by the looks of that, so somehow surviving, but that has just cost him a chance at a point. That was a daft move to be making. Really daft. Dennis also came past Atomic at the same time and has actually joined into this battle. Feathercamp needs to get clear because Dennis is coming. Dennis wants points. He started at the back. He does have a 3-second penalty to his name, so does Feathercamp. Jumbo in front doesn't have anything, and nor does Atomic behind. So Dennis needs to get past these two to try and protect himself. As Julian is close. No, he's not. We're far away from the DRS on there. Feathercamp, Jumboy. DRS is open on Feathercamp. Mode 4. He's looking. He is sending. And is he getting, though? Oh, I thought Dennis was going to take both of them there. Just send one down the inside. He's alongside his teammate now. Jumboy and Dennis. Oh, that could be bad. That is bad. Dennis is in the gravel. Just made a little mistake there. And that is Dennis making a mistake. And he's now going to be struggling to get points. He's going to be right down now. And there he is in the barriers. I think this might be a retirement for Dennis. That's Jumboy. What's happened to Jumboy? Completely missed that. Dennis is... Did I get the wrong driver? No, I didn't. They both had an off. I was too busy worrying about what happened with Dennis that Jumboy had his own off and is now down in 14th. So Dennis is somehow now jumped back up and is on a points. Does he have damage? He's really struggling with grip. This is Jumboy. He does have front right damage then on Jumboy. The Alphas having the worst lap of their lives here. Both having an issue. Dennis somehow surviving and currently in P10. As he starts lap 28 of 33. Livid, though, right behind him, has just gone fastest. And he's 3.8 seconds back from Dennis. I think it's only going to be a matter of time before Livers closes up and tries to get that overtake. And all that, Danvidan has lost out to Julian. Julian's now up to P3 and has him covered. So, right. Jumboy has now pitted. He's coming out on softs. He's down there in 17th place. He's going to get a new wing changed as well. He's going to be ahead of Charifin. But I don't think there's anything Jumboy can really do from this far back. The only thing he can really do, actually, is just set a fastest lap and just show that I can be fast if I want to be. Just had a bad day at the office. So, in all that excitement of a couple of laps, we had Fluffy Balls trying something. I'm not even sure how to describe it. That's what the overtake was. It looked like he just forgot to brake and then drove rally style across the corner. But he's had the mistake. Then we had Dennis make a mistake. And I can only assume it was as a result of Dennis's mistake that Jumboy got contact from Atomic. And that's what ruined his front wing. And now Jumboy pitted. He's down in 17th as Fluffball's up to P12. Past Dow. And that's probably going to be the best he's going to achieve here now. He's not going to catch up 5 seconds onto the back of Livid when Livid is on softs. And Dennis is unlikely to slip back that far. So, well, I can have a little breather now for a moment. That's quite nice, isn't it? Quick penalty rundown for you, though. Feathercamp has 3 seconds to his name there in 8th. Then Dennis has a 3 second in 10th. Followed by Livid, Fluffy Balls, all on 3 seconds as well. Nothing for Dow, but Noosa and Kimmy both have 3 seconds as Feathercamp ups the game to 6 seconds. And that's... well, at the moment it's going to only cost him 1 place, but if Dennis has to put a motor on Yawn 3 seconds, that's the end of his hopes of win this race. Unless Mesa has a big mistake now. Yawn's 3 second penalty has cost him. Dennis. So, if Dennis wants to get Feathercamp, he needs to find... It's effectively, he needs to find 2.5 seconds. Just slightly less, and get onto the back of Atomic and potentially pass him. Feathercamp is only going to lose 1 place, and hopefully, for his sake, Atomic will drop off. But Feathercamp's on 18 lap old hards compared to Atomic's 15. And Dennis's 10 lap old mediums. Liver's also there. He's got 3 seconds to his name, so he might try and close up into this. So it's all going to play out over these last 3 laps for Feathercamp to see can he end up with points. I would be surprised if he doesn't. he will lose out to Atomic, because Atomic has 0 penalties to his name, and Feathercamp has 6. So should be a relatively simple one there. Yawn has closed it up at the lead. Let's see, is he... I mean, Meister doesn't really need to fight this now. He knows, he should know by now, that Yawn has a 3-second penalty. He knows that even if Yawn gets past him, he just needs to hold on to the back end of him, and he'll drag him to the finish line. And yeah, so not long left. I think there's not going to be a huge amount of changes post-race in terms of penalties. Dow's actually going to gain a place on Fluffy Balls. Fluffy Balls has a 3-second penalty. He's actually starting to pull away a little bit from Dow. So that one could change. That was not set yet. Fluffy Balls needs to find a second and a bit. We've got yellow in sector 1 and 2. That's now clear. Looked like that's Anthony actually. Just lost a bit of time to Kimmy. Potentially just getting out of the way of blue flags. And yeah, so it's starting to die down a little bit now, as we're on lap 32 or 33. It's looking very likely for Meister to be back at the top step of the podium. Yawn's going to give it his all, because why not at the end of the day? You may have a 3-second penalty, why don't you just try and pressurise Meister? Maybe Meisters will make a mistake and Yawn will be ahead. Time will tell. Fastest lap actually Liv is the only person to do a lap in the 119s here today, which is pretty darn quick. And Meister, little lock up there. Yawn isn't giving up on this. He knows he's unlikely to take the win at this stage. But why not? Why not just try? You've got nothing to lose. Keep the pressure up on the race leader. Although having said that, he was a 2 tenths slower in that sector, but he was 3 tenths faster in the first sector. So just trying to keep up the pressure on the Red Bull man in front of him. Red Bull versus Toro Rosso. Sharif has actually gone fastest in the first sector. He's gone purple down there. That is a quick first sector actually. So Yawn in the DRS of Meister in the slipstream as well, trying to just close up. I think Charles might actually get the fastest lap. He's gone purple in sector 2 as well. But I mean, it's not going to get anything out of this other than the fastest lap, but still it's a nice thing to have to your name. Let's have a quick look back to Charles. See him coming across the line. He didn't. Oh no, it's not Charles, sorry, it's Jumboy behind him. Sorry, Char. Jumboy goes fastest. 19.356. Yeah. So that's the new fastest lap of the race so far for Jumboy. Livid is closing up to Dennis. Livid on 7 lap old. Soft last lap. These guys are penalty equal as well. So this is actually going to matter. If Livid can get past Dennis, Dennis is actually not going to benefit from Feathercamp and his 6 seconds of penalties. He's just missing out. He needs to find a second in this last lap somehow, which I don't think he's going to do. I think his tyres are getting old. Very, very worn down mediums on that car. It is the last lap though. Meister has taken the win from Dennis, then Julian. Dan will come across in P4. But we're going to keep our eyes on this battle, see if Livid can get past Dennis on these final few corners. The start-finish line is quite early, so if you're going to go for it, you're going to have to go for it now. And the answer to that is no, he's not going to go for it. He's going to have to sit back and take the checker flag in 11th. Feathercamp comes across in 8th. Atomic doesn't. Oh, Atomic had the 5-second penalty, so he didn't gain. Dennis gains on Atomic, and Livid missing out on a point by 0.717 of a second. That's how close he was to having a point, and it gives Atomic a good ramming because of it. Fluffball comes across 12th, followed by Dow and Noosa. Kimi is coming up to the line as well. He's going to finish 15th. And last but not least will be Anthony, as he comes around the final couple of corners in the McLaren. And here we go. And there you go. So, well, that was a pretty action-packed race. Started off a little bit towards the end, but still, I mean, that finish line potential for Livid, losing out on a point by such a small margin, could have gone either way. But there you go. Once again, the Red Bull standing atop of the podium, and another 25 points heading his way, and he'll be happy with that. Let's have a quick look then at those final results. Meister taking the win, and confirmation that Jorn's 3-second penalty didn't lose him anything, but didn't gain anyone else anything, or gain him anything. You can't really gain anything from 3-second penalty. But Julian in third, Dan Verdan fourth, followed by the two Williams of Julian and Beaker. Busted in seventh, Feathercamp eighth, Dennis ninth, Atomic in 10th, running out your points, and then just missing out Livid by such a small margin, 0.141, I believe it was, of a second. Fluffy in 12th, followed by Dow, Noosa, Kimi, Anthony, Char, and John Boy. DNF is then of Mute and Nathan. And there we go. What? Well, yeah, it's another one of those races where I regret even speaking. My voice is dead. Thanks everyone who came. Next week we will be in Monaco. Ooh, looking forward to that very much. So join me then for that. That is at 7 o'clock UK time or 8 o'clock Dutch time for you Dutchies. Until then, thanks all for being here.